What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be going over some Urza Lloyd Protector Brothers War Commander deck techs. So, let's go ahead and get started. So, we're going to have our commander be Urza Lloyd Protector, of course. He says, artifact, instant, and sorcery spells cost 1 less to cast. And for 7 mana, if we own Urza and an artifact named the Mightstone Weakstone, we exile them and then put them together to Urza Planeswalker. Now, this Planeswalker is really strong because we can basically activate its abilities twice on each of our turns. And its ultimate gives everything we own, all artifacts and Planeswalkers, indestructible at the end of turn, and then we destroy all non-land permanents. So what's the plan? The plan is to have our Planeswalker and cast Urzageddon. So what kind of cards are we going to be running in this deck? Of course, we're going to have Arcane Signet for some mana rocks, Soul Ring, Grand Dynamo for mana, Mana Vault, Mana Crypt, Jewel Lotus, Mox Diamond, Lotus Petal, Chromatic Lantern, and Gilded Lotus. Now, the plan here is to have so much mana that we can basically just cast anything we want to. So what kind of tutors are we going to have? We're going to have a Mystical Tutor for instant and sorceries, and an Enlightened Tutor to find artifacts and enchantments. Now what kind of creatures should we have in this deck? We're going to want a lot of artifact creatures that buff up other artifact creatures, like Liberator Urza's Battlefield, for colorless spells and artifact spells for flash, a Metal Worker for mana, and a Cyber Drive Awakener for flying. We're going to have an Urza Prince of Krug to give all of our artifacts even more damage and health. We're going to have an Urza Lloyd High Artifacer, so all of these artifacts are going to produce even more mana. We're going to throw in a Teferi Temple Pilgrim, because, well, if we're drawing cards, we might as well be getting loyalty counters. Have a Grand Arbiter for our spells to cast less, have a Sten for our spells to cast less, and have a Jehoiah for our spells to cast less. But we might as well also have a Shimmermere, a Master Transmuter, and a Silvermere. What these are going to do, we're going to buff up our artifacts so that we can cast them whenever we want and be able to cast them for cheaper using Master Transmuter. We might as well have a Palladium Mare to add some colorless, and we'll have a Blightsteel Colossus for kind of a win condition here. We'll have a Wrath Capitus Ship's Mage so that we can cast all historic spells as flash, and a Dig Site Engineer because if we're casting artifacts, we might as well have, creatures that when we cast artifacts, it becomes stronger. And of course, a Steel Overseer for all these artifact creatures to, well, be better. We'll have a Chiefs of the Foundry to buff up some artifact creatures, and a Kuladar Forge Master, because if we have a lot of artifacts to spare, we can basically find whatever we want. We'll have a Teferi Time Raveler, so that our opponents can't really counter any of our stuff, and Ugin to have some void control, and Teferi Hero of Dominaria for the emblem, because if we draw cards, say it with me, we can exile so much. Some instants, we'll have a Cyclonic Rift, a Path to Exile, or Teferi's Protection. The reason we'll have Teferi's Protection is if we cast Urzageddon, we'll have to protect our own stuff to win. We'll have some counterspells, some more counterspells, a Render Silence to make sure you can't cast spells during your turn, a Silence to make sure you can't cast spells during your turn, a Windfall for some draw, a Wrath of God, Approach of the Second Sun. Approach of the Second Sun is going to be our win condition for this deck, at least one of them. We'll throw in a Time Twister just so that we can restart the game a little bit and have some more cards, a Fabricate to search for artifacts, and an Intuition to also search for some cards. We'll have a Misdirection, and of course, our namesake card will have an Urzageddon. We'll need a Time Warp to take extra turns, and a Washout to return everything of the color of our choice to the opponent's hands. We'll have a Splitting the Power Stone to create some Power Stone tokens for some more mana, a Swords to Plowshare for some card control, and of course we'll have a Disenchant for all those nasty enchantments we don't like. So what are our artifacts going to look like? We'll need an Unwinding Clock so that our artifacts always untap. We'll need a Forsaken Monument so that whenever we tap a permanent for colorless, we basically double that mana. And colorless creatures of course get +2/+2, so all those artifact creatures we have, they just become even stronger. Now, The Vacant Ori is going to be really good, because all of our spells are going to have flash. So, this is going to be really good for, at the end of your turn, I cast this, or, just in general, anything we need, we will always have an answer. We'll need a Caged Sun, because we'll just be able to double how much mana we have, and our creatures of the chosen type, or chosen color, my bad, will just get even stronger. A Nevinyrral's Disc is going to be good for when we need to kind of destroy everything. And a Doubling Cube. I really like this one because it's really interesting how it works, because we can double the amount of each type of mana in my mana pool. We're also going to have an Urza Silex to, again, just destroy everything. More board control equals more chances to win. What kind of enchantments? Well, obviously we're going to have a heuristic study for that nice draw. A Smothering Tide for some nice treasure tokens, and a Mechanized Production. This is also going to be another win condition, because create a token that's a copy of enchanted artifact. Then if we have 8 or more artifacts with the same name as another one, we win the game. So basically, if we have multiple copies of an artifact, that just means we have more mana or stronger abilities, and we can just do things more and more. One with the multiverse will allow us to cast spells and lands from the top of our library, and we can just look at it at any point. And a Tempered Steel is going to make our artifact creatures even stronger. We're going to have an Ancient Den, which is an artifact land, a Seed of the Synod, which is a artifact land, and an Inventor's Fair, so that we can search for artifacts. We'll be running an Urza's Saga, the last ability where we can search for Mana Vault or Mana Crypt, a Reliquary Tower, so that we have no maximum hand size, and an Academy Ruins, which we can put target artifact from my graveyard on our library. If you notice a trend, most of these tap for colorless, because remember, when we tap for colorless, we double it. We'll be running the Urzatron, which is Urza's Tower, Power Play, and Mine, because if he's tapped for colorless, again, with Forsaken Monument, we'll be able to produce twice as much. Hallowed Fountain is going to be a land that we have because it taps for white and blue. A Sea of Clouds, again, taps for white and blue, and a Flood Strand to search for a card. We'll be having a Renegade Pathway so that we can either have white or blue on the backside. We'll have a Tundra and a Mystic Gate. Of course, we're going to have a Falling Glaciers for those times where we just need to find a couple basic lands. We'll have a Prairie Stream and a Blast Zone. Now, I really like Blast Zone because it allows us to have void control as a land. We'll have 6 islands and 4 plains. So, what is the idea of this deck? Right? What we really just want to do is not cast Colossal Dreadmaw. The goal is, we have our Epic Planeswalker and a lot of artifact creatures that get bigger the more cards we have. With all of our draw, we should never be able to run out of cards. So, whenever we can either ultimate the Planeswalker, or cast a Phase Protection, void wipe the entire board, destroy everything with Armageddon, and then with no one has anything and basically have to restart the game, we have lots and lots of creatures on the battlefield, and we just rampage everyone. So that's the Brothers War deck tech. I'm really excited for the Brothers War set to come out, and I will probably end up making a video on it. Anyways, make sure to subscribe. Peace out.